Greetings. I have returned, and we shall be playing more stuff as we go through this whole thing. Yep, just same as usual. I'm just scanning my memory, see if I can remember anything that happened last week, and of course I can't, so let's continue. New reflections can appear in the labyrinth based on your actions in the real world. Some of them can give you special bonuses. Okay. In a way, I think it's good that I take these, like, this 1 week break between each time I play this, because then I can come back to it fresh and try to actually have some thought about what's going on. See if I can remember crap. We are way down right now on certain key stats that we may need shortly. We'll have to see kind of how this goes. As I recall, we were having a lot of trouble getting stuff done in here that we wanted to get done. Just wasn't coming into focus for us. Let's look at the journal again, as we always seem to do when we get to this point. Makina is hiding out in a place called the Cave of Last Words. I can only get there by traveling underground. Okay. That's kind of the major thing. We might just go ahead and do that, just for the sake of progress on the main quest. And then maybe that'll unlock things that we can use to make the side quests easier. We'll see. Yeah, so that's kind of at a standstill. Thinking about taking the stuff before I try to convince the guy that... the stuff that makes me more convincing before I try to convince him that I can take on the words into the labyrinth in my head, even though... Why would I want to do... Why would you do that? I don't know. Let me turn the sound off on the phone. That'll help. This one only requires that I die again, so that'll be soon. Probably. I gotta return the book. I can do that. That much. I think I've gotten as much out of that book as I should. Still having trouble with this one. Single flayed hand, strange circle drawn on the wall in blood. Eyes of the adversary. Yeah, this one I'm just kind of stumped on. So I'm going to have to try doing other weird stuff in order to make that work in any way. Servant of the Tides. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to ditch some people to make that work. Maybe. Airship Thief. This one I still have to wonder if I was supposed to use favor with Vunkin on this one. Not that I had favor. But blackmail material I do have. Anechoic Lazaret. Yep, that's another playstander that is terribly dangerous. Quite possibly. Sorrow's Prey. And that again is another thing that'll, next time I die, we'll have that conversation. Okay. So, all that being the case, yeah, I think I'm going to go return the book. There are a few things I can at least do at this point. So I'm going to go and return the book. And I think I'm going to try to... I think I might see if... I might just... Some sort of torn again. Because there's something, and I cannot currently remember what it was, that I need to bring Castellage down to look at. So I am actually going to have to ditch this fella before I can do that. And, take away the toys that I gave him. That too is the thing that needs to happen. I gotta figure that out. We'll see. How are we feeling? Interesting. Okay. Gave you stuff, didn't I? Gave you that sword. Okay. Choices to be made. Let's go return the book. We'll at least have that. We need to head back to the circus. So we can go through Circus Minor. There it is. Alright, let's do that. This game is all about choices to be made. Keep up, Bryn. You're not keeping up. Keep up, child. I don't care that your legs are shorter than ours. Alright. Alright. Let's see. You know what, I'm gonna... Just for the sake of doing it, I'm going to move myself up here. Let's figure this out. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Then there's that whole thing if he wants me to release this, because apparently it'll be fun. Okay. Let's do this. The thief returned, the merchant says. Felinda wondered why, but did not ask. Why don't you tell me why you're narrating everything I say? Here's the Tome of Singing Thorns. We got XP. Felinda snatched the book from the thief's hands, the merchant says, doing so. And yet it was the same book, still sealed, still worthless, still priceless. The merchant traces the sigil on the cover for a long, silent moment. As a reward, Felinda invited the thief, the customer, to take, yes, take, one of the merchant's more ragged books as payment. Stock space was limited, after all, and the customer would be doing Felinda and Steristi a favor. You leaned forward to examine Felinda's bookshelf. That was, after all, the purpose of the establishment. That's a library. Oh, boy. 2 weeks and a day in the pleasure wagons of Awesome's traveling menagerie and soaring circus. Much though I'd like to get that. Angul and the Greater Good, the rise of the Angulan Knights. Sounds interesting. Or it could be applied to other things. Humming and Hiding, the secrets of the Labyrinth of Sound. That looks interesting. Known powers. A historical examination from the rulers of the Ninth World. Honestly, I'd be embarrassed to take another book from you. I mean, you know, that's kind of true. But this character is slightly less shameless, slightly more shameless than that. So that's the thing, is the Rise of the Knights could be useful. Humming and Hiding could be very useful if it's what I think it could be. Known powers could be useful if it's got anything in there about the Changing God. A lot of different things going on. The Labyrinth of Sound. Lots of choices. I think that for this character, the most significant choice is probably going to be known powers. So we will go with that. Blue Tide, Silver Tide. Felinda handed the book over, adding that the chapters covering the legacies of each ruler were particularly fascinating. kingdom of Malavik is defined by two unfortunate traits, a thirst for conquest and a peculiar type of chasm-related insanity that descends upon every monarch the country has ever had sooner or later. I am, of course, speaking of the Void Chasm, or Earth Wound, the vast rift dividing Malavik from their rivals in the Pitharan Empire. Oh, that's way to the north of the Steadfast, I believe. Each ruler of Malavik in recorded history has become obsessed with the chasm in one form or another. Some have sought to cross or bridge it, with the lofty goal of conquering the neighboring empire. Others have tried to reach the bottom of the glowing wound. All have failed to various catastrophic degrees. That does sound fascinating, Tiber agrees, eyeing the merchant with interest. You have fine taste in books. The thief's companion said, wondering if Felinda was naked beneath those heavy robes. Felinda says, sighing. Tiber blinks, then turns to you. Guilty, he says, shrugging. Why don't you tell me why you're narrating everything I say? The thief pleaded. He still did not understand that Felinda wasn't speaking. But what the thief was hearing was the passage of time. It's very passive-aggressive of her. Farewell. Felinda returned to the work at hand. I mean, it could be any number of things, right? But that's any time I get presented with like that, I'm like, I must see what the other books say. We'll hold on to this one for now. So, where to now? Okay. Well, a couple of folks have levels up, so we'll deal with that. Aligarn. What will happen with Aligarn? Oh, we have choices. We can increase stat pools, increase edge, increase effort, improve a skill. I mean, it's the stat pools, right? These people are batteries. Can't up speed. I can up might. I can up intellect. Let's do that. Rin gets to level up. Do you level up, do you heal? No, of course you don't. Increase stat pools, extra effort. Just gonna increase stat pools for now, I think. Rin cannot increase. We can increase speed and intellect. We'll increase her speed by 2, we think? Do we want to do that? Use her more as a speed battery? I mean, she's useful for both. There we go. Okay. That would be good. Okay, we've done that. Now what? We could sell off a bunch of stuff and get more shins, if we so desire. Merchant's right there. We have a bunch of stuff we need to get rid of. We kind of do have a bunch of stuff we need to get rid of. Spray Flash, the Stillborn Construct, Star's Kiss. That's a useful item. That's an artifact. We don't want to sell that. Force. Stillness Cage. Yeah. The gloves. Root series, yes. Basically, most of these oddities. I mean, it's not really going to be terribly useful. I could sell it. I think I'm going to go sell the oddities. We are going down this path. We will continue down it. Show me what you have for sale. 6-finger gloves. Kill that. Do the cage. We'll do Stillborn Construct, which is worth a little bit. Though I have to wonder if I should have given... Nah, who cares? No, they didn't want it at the time. Globe's roll. And the faraway earbuds. Okay, I suddenly have almost 1,000 shins. I'm wearing this weird ornament, which is perhaps going to be helpful. Charm paste. Unstoppable detonation. Lots of items we could use. No idea whether it's a good idea to use them or not. Alright. So we've got stuff.
Yes. Now.
Yes, now. Next on the agenda... probably take care of this. Because these are things we cannot seem to take care of right now. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's the Lazaret or nothing at this point. So, let's get some rest. There was something I wanted to show, and I'm trying to remember what it was that I wanted to show Castellage, and I think it was something down in the place. I can't remember. Alright. Get some sleep. So we can recharge. Actually, here, let me go ahead and actually save first before I do that. Just, you know, just in case. Pre-sleep. I would like to sleep here. 40 shins, not a problem. Cheaper than anything else. Hey, woman says, drawing you from your rest. She stands, arms folded, watching you with a grim expression. Okay. Folsom wants to trade some words with you. I'd head down there now if I were you. There's been trouble. Somebody tried to kill that little mutant, Crooked Keek. Ah! Damn lucky Keek survived. Sure. We'll have a chat about that. Apparently, something I did not sit well. That's fine. We'll go down and have a little chat.
Of course.
Pico's down here. Keek's down here. I feel like I'd kind of want to make sure that she's okay first. Before going and talking to Folsom. Yeah. Summoned. I was almost killed, Crooked Keek says in scandalized delight. I was almost killed. Grasping you by both shoulders. I don't want to know what would have happened if Pico wasn't here. Well, there we go. It's a good thing that we sent him down there, is it not? It is. Pico gently pries Crooked Keek from you. The three of us should talk about this when you have a chance, he says. Someone tried to kill you?
I'll remember that.
Maybe, she says. Pico went to get dinner. I thought I saw my fishing pole move, and I was trying to pull it up when I heard Pico shouting. Her eyes sparkle. I turned around. There was someone in Dendro robes. I couldn't see his face, but there was something shiny in his hand. And then Pico chased him away. I had to be the one who was murdering people in the underbelly. The boy pulls you aside and speaks softly. If it was the murder, we got lucky, he says. I didn't chase him off. It was the shouting that made him run. If I'd walked up quietly, he might have killed us both. I thought I heard him grunt like a woman. I might be imagining that. Okay, farewell. We've already had those answers. Anything to add? Something seems different about the boy since you last talked to him in Cliff's Edge. No one would call the expression on his face a happy one, but he certainly looks calmer, taller even. He sees you coming and nods. Here I am. Nothing much has changed down here. His tone is biting, but you notice his eyes shifting to Crooked Keek. He was right to bring me here, though. She needs me. Did you notice anything unusual about the person sneaking up on Crooked Keek? No, he says bitterly. You should ask Keek. She saw that carca from the front. He exhales, rubbing his spotted cheek. If you hadn't convinced me to come back, I wouldn't have been here. Anything could have happened. He closes his eyes. Thank you. Are you settling in? I'm not, he says. We're only going to stay here as long as it takes to convince Keek that we shouldn't. Life is better just about everywhere else in this town. But no. She says that if she leaves, our tribe is truly dead. Instead of, actually dead. Murdered in some cases. He lowers his voice. You would know by talking to her, but that girl is as stubborn as dried leather. It's a good thing I'm here for her, he thinks. Okay. Farewell. Let's have a little chat with Folsom. He beckons at you, a hard, sharp motion, his jaw set, his teeth partly bared. The murderer tried to attack someone else in your absence, he says. The woman known as Crooked Keek. He takes a deep breath. Speak with her. Any scrap of evidence may be useful. Any new insights? Weedle was a cornerstone of my plan for this city, he says. His death pains me and will hurt this city in the years to come. He shakes his head slowly. But Keek's death would have only robbed the underbelly of her smile. I cannot imagine why she was a target. The killer might be mistaken. Confused is more likely. All right. Well, good to know. Wearing the robes of the Dendro.
Of course.
So, of course, we're going to go and check for the Dendro horror first. I mean, there's one candidate that kind of springs to mind.
Yes. Here we go then.
Here we go. There we go. Spending an effort on attack not only increases your chance to hit, but also increases the damage you deal. Alright. So, dude. You gotta talk to your people. Ah, restless corpse, MB2 beams at you, clasping his skeletal hands together like a tangle of twigs. Such a curiosity you are. I have more questions. Oh dear, I was hoping it was all over by now. I have evidence of the Dendro horror involved. Can I speak with your acolytes?
I'll remember that.
Oh my, he says. I suppose you have my permission. Do be gentle with them. He flashes his teeth at you. If they deserve it, of course. Did we do this? Let's see if we can describe the circle. My, he says, lowering his head and adjusting his robes. Quite gruesome. I must say your ring sounds faintly familiar, but no, I can't place it. That's the symbol of the children. But how? We drove them all out. His surface thoughts betray him. Your surface thoughts betray you. He certainly does know the symbol. Try again, MB2. You know that symbol. How? Ah, he says, I see that nothing gets past you. He does not smile this time. That circle is the symbol of the children of the Endless Gate. They began as a branch of the Dendrohor that was more impatient in their appetites. His lip twitches like the memory of a snarl. Years ago, my sisters and brothers and I chased them from the city and erased their names from every record, or thought we had. Perhaps, he says, turning troubled eyes on the other Dendrohor. No, this is the first time I've spoken of the Endless Gate in years. They cannot possibly be involved. He takes a deep breath and smiles at you again. It's like watching a wrinkled sun emerging from the clouds. Could their twisted beliefs have somehow infected one of them? Impossible. Impossible. Do you think any of the other Dendrohor could be capable of murder? Certainly not, he declares, then pauses. Well, they do come and go as they please, hunting for bodies left in the gutters like broken leaves. He smiles mistily up at the air as though reminded of his younger years. The Devourer of Wrongs was standing vigil these last few days, but any of the others could be responsible, I suppose. He runs his eyes across them, humming a fretful little memory. Oh dear, he says. They really are a suspicious lot, aren't they? Mallet enjoys hurting people. Kiyatawa tells her little lies, and she's quite unique. He seems as pleased at this as though he's accomplished her uniqueness himself. All in all, they're a horrifying bunch, aren't they? I really hadn't noticed before. I'd like to question your acolytes about the Endless Gate. Oh my, he says. I suppose you have my permission? Do be gentle with them. He flashes his teeth at you. If they deserve it, of course. He already said that. Where were you when the protege was killed? He says. I have quite an amazing alibi. Is that how you say it, alibi? He draws himself up and sets his jaw sternly like a character of justice itself. I was with Folsom the entire night. He can tell you as much. It may not have been entirely legal what we did, but it wasn't murder.
Making a note.
He leans close to whisper in your ear. I've promised Folsom I wouldn't tell anyone how he helps with things. You'll need to ask him if you want to know more. He winks and stands back. So, as you can see, I'm beyond suspicion. For one thing, the priest was already dead. Done talking about that for now. So soon, he says, folding his hands. Very well. Oh, now he wants to talk about it. We did all the visions. I mean... Do I have more questions about the Dendrohor? Nah, we're done. Farewell. More questioning. Okay. Endless quests. Alright, here we go. Hi, Mallet. And, no, I've forgotten. Alright, well, that doesn't matter. What do you want, Shieldmate? He says, leering. Imbidu gave me permission to ask you about the murders. Is that right? He says, glancing at Imbidu. The leader of the Dendrohor gives him a small nod. Yeah, all right. He says, ask your questions for all the good it will do you. Do you know Wheedle? He says, yeah, I knew him. Glad to hear he's dead. He chuckles. He was smart and knew it, always looking down on the rest of us, always ordering people around with Folsom looking on, smiling. He snorts. But if you're thinking I chopped him, I didn't. I was getting drunk in a corner of the manufactory. He grins nastily, wondering what all the screaming was about. Damn uppity Nibba, I should have been Folsom's man, not him.
Making a note.
All right. Side is hurting a wee bit. We may want to chill for a moment. You know, you should ask, he says, leaning in. Kiyatawa, I saw her hunched over some corpse in an alley all by herself. Doesn't matter what the meat is, people who eat on their own always got something to hide. He nods at the other cultist. And Gazee's one to watch too. She ain't like you and me, she's a mutant, and not one of the nicer ones. And everyone eats on their own. Everyone's got something to hide. Alright. I want to talk to you about your eating habits. Do I? Is that right? He says, scratching one of his sharpened teeth. Not much of a mystery there. I eat people. I like it. He shrugs. That doesn't answer your question. Go on and ask. I can't remember if I asked this before or not. Hang on. So I'm going to do this without the headphones for a little while. Feeling a bit messed up right now. So, how many corpses have you eaten? You mean besides you, Shuttle Meat, he says, chortling. Can't give you the exact number, he says. You eat what's given to you here. But at least one time, at midnight, I was out on my own and found a corpse lying beneath a stack of rusty metal. Someone just left him there to rot. He shakes his head. Oh! This might be, there's someone I was looking for. Maybe I'll go for another walk tonight, he muses. Can't help wondering what else I'll find hidden under things. Everyone eats on their own. That ain't no secret. See, the thing being, if they get information about the lives of the people they consume, then can actually solve murders that way. Sadly enough. Which I assume is part of the point of what we're doing here. Doesn't eating human flesh bother you? Bother? No, bother ain't the right word. He rubs the back of his neck. You think you're going to mind the taste, but you don't. The part I don't like is the memories from the person you eat end up in your head, and you can't make them shut up. No. The four of us ate this skull arc, not a fancy one, but one with old robes. Kiyatawa was talking about some word she kept hearing after. He scowls. I didn't get a word. I saw a memory of his when I was picking him out of my teeth. He was lying in bed, dying maybe, waiting for his son to come and see him. His eyes kept closing, and his son never came. He shakes his head like a beast trying to dislodge a biting insect. Not that I saw, anyway. That's just from one meal. They get in my head, make me forget who's me, and B2 says it gets easier, but... I want to ask you about something else. Yeah, I bet you do. Have you ever heard of something called the Endless Gate? No, he says. Strange name, though. If it don't end, it ain't much of a gate, is it? It's more of a hallway. Yeah, I know, right? Are you sure? No, he says, frowning. I told you. Tell me what you think about the other members of your family. Family, he repeats. Good one. I trust my brother over this bunch, and he tried to cut my throat when I was 5. He clucks his tongue. Go on and ask your questions. What are your opinions on MB2? He's all right, Millet says. Got half the city scared of him, and the other half bringing him meat. Not bad for an old man who smiles at everyone and never raises his voice. I would be half that feared when I'm done. More than half. Yes. What do you think of Gazee? Gazee's a monster, he says, shaking his head. Less than human and more than a beast. I've seen her take a corpse's face off with a swipe of those claws and tuck it into her mouth like pen bread. Didn't stop until the body was gone, down to the last drop of blood. He bites his upper lip, drawing ribbons of blood. Talk to Gazay if you want. Figure her out. Me, I'll keep my distance. And how do you feel about Kiyatawa? He opens his mouth to respond, closes it, thinking. Something's wrong with her, he says, finally. And I ain't stupid, I know how that sounds coming from me. Just something's broken in her, and it's always getting worse. Oh yeah, I know what that is. I think that'll probably be it. Ooh. Finished about the murderer. Alright, just wish you luck, but I don't want to waste it. I'd wish you luck, but I don't want to waste it. Alright. Why'd you join them again? No, okay, farewell. See you later. Okay. Kiyatawa. Kiyatawa! Kiyatawa doesn't spare words on you this time. She merely nods, her wary gaze cataloging the position of everyone in the room. Don't think she did it, but we're going to say some things. Mbitu says, I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly. Yeah? She says, looking over at the old man. He nods. Good. I have to say I'm not surprised the murderer's trail led you in here. What do you want to know? Mallet says he caught you eating a corpse on your own. Let's start by saying, do you have any idea who the murderer is? No, she says, resting her hands on her hips. But I've seen what they left behind of Folsom's body. Folsom's boy. Now, Folsom's still alive. Folsom's boy. A mess. Blood on the walls and floor. No body. She flicks a strand of hair out of her eyes. That's the kind of death you see when someone's sending a warning. Or holding a grudge. I saw it all the time before I came here. The circle's not a warning, it's a sign. Mallet says he caught you eating a corpse on your own. Yeah, maybe Mallet should mind his business, she says, shooting an angry look at the hulking cultist. Sure, it's true. I don't like being down here more than I have to, all right? I barely even sleep anymore. I'm getting the feeling that they're waiting for me to die, wondering what I'd taste like.
I'll remember that.
Not too long ago, I found a corpse in an alley near Circus Minor. I didn't see why I should share it with this lot. She drags her fingers through her hair. That's it. No secret, no scandal. And since Mallet thinks he can share my hunting with strangers, maybe you should ask him how many corpses he's found on his own, or if they were actually dead when he found them. Mallet's killed and eaten, I'm sure of it. Probably they all do. Why do you think someone killed Folsom's protege? Why? She says with something approaching a grin. Why? This is someone Folsom cared about. He has a lot of enemies. What do you think? What do you think? Do you know anything about the Endless Gate? No, she says, never heard of them. Are you sure you've never heard of the Children of the Endless Gate before? She shakes her head, looking confused. I want to know your opinions on the other Dendro, or about your other self, Sheena. Okay. She says, all right. Don't expect me to hold back. What are your opinions on Mbitu? He's lived for too long, she says. Maybe the Dendro her was something once, but he's just looking for his next meal now, and the rest of them are following his example. How do you feel about Mallet? He likes hurting people. More than that, he's proud of it. She runs an angry hand through her hair and lowers her voice. I'm not sure, but I think he's been killing rivals from his old life and eating them. I know he killed. He probably ate too. Why wouldn't he? Well, he doesn't like it, actually. But anyway. What do you think of Gazay? She used to be worse than she is. If you haven't talked to her yet, you'll see what I mean. She glances at the mutant uneasily. Maybe all those corpses she's eating on her own are bringing Sagus into her head. Civilizing her, maybe. She shakes her head. That just means she's a predator who knows the mind of her prey. She's a monster. She's murdered to eat. Why wouldn't she? Paranoia! Possibly. I mean, amongst a group of cannibals, that's kind of, Is it cannibalism when they're... Well, I guess it is. Yeah, you have to, usually cannibals will kill the victim before eating them, I think. Alright, hang on. Wow. Ever get that thing where you feel slightly dizzy for no apparent reason? We'll see. Other questions? I bet, she says. Out with it then. Out with it. We're done asking about the murderer. I want to know more about you. Nope. Okay, I'm done. Farewell. I want to know more about you, but I don't. Bye-bye. I don't really want to have the conversation. That's the point. Alright. Let's keep doing this. Just going to overwrite it. Yawn. Yeah, let's just do the round once, and then we'll figure the rest out. Okay. We welcome you back, Tenderling, she croons, as if singing to a tasty child. Here we go. Vita says, I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly. Her small eyes glow with humor, but flicker first to the leader of the Dendro Horror. He nods. Ask your questions, Tenderling, she says, stroking the back of her hand with her claws. Even this gentle motion draws blood. Murder? How can it be murder with no body? Yeah. What do you know about the murders? Oh, Tenderling, she chuckles, delighted. You use the wrong word over and over. There is no murder if there's no body. This was... And she uses a word you do not recognize, a gruesome combination of clicking teeth and growling consonants. And so nothing was lost.
Making a note.
We do not know who is responsible, she says, scratching her cheek. Blood spills unheeded from the wound. Kiatawa and Mallet sneak about during the night. They swallow their secrets. They are Dendro her to serve their power and hunger, not to honor the dead. Not for... She uses the word again, snapping her jagged teeth with great satisfaction. They are not capable of such kindness. Why is he so interested in a soul that was not lost? Very strange. So yeah, hang on. What is that word you used to describe murder? That clicking, growling word. Word? She says, blinking. Oh, yes, your language does not have the word, so we use our own. She clicks her teeth together thoughtfully, then answers. We know of murder, of course. To leave a body to rot is to say that the soul inside is not worth keeping. This we punish. This decision is not for anyone to make. The word we speak of is the opposite. On my world, when one of us dies or is killed, we eat their flesh and take their souls into our body. We feel the light of them reach our corners. She raises a claw, smiling. They becomes we, you understand? I see, you only think it's a murder if the murderer doesn't eat the entire body. I don't see the difference between that and murder. Yes, she says, clapping her hands together with delight. You understand. Yeah, that blue tide's coming at higher and higher costs. This murder is no murder. Murder is no murder, she pronounces the word with obvious scorn. We know the details. A skinned hand in blood circles on the wall, she says, making a tisking noise. Tenderlings play with their food. Perhaps your murderer is young. They do not know why they should finish the hands. They do not know they should finish the hands, strip the memories of hard work from the tendons, crunch the bones, slurp the blood from the floor. Content warning, by the way. Every time I freaking play this, there's content! Content warning. There's a bunch of content, just so you'll know. That needs to be warned about. She shakes her head fondly. Tenderlings. Perhaps this tenderling thinks what I do is murder. He is wrong. What is the word? You don't think Yatawa or Mallet killed any of the victims? We never said that, she says, playfully biting her tongue. They kill, but they do not honor. They do not understand who they are. Do you know about a group called the Children of the Endless Gate? We know it. We know it, she says, frowning, but we are not sure how. Oh, you ate somebody who knew about it. That's great. She drums her claws against her chin, drawing pinpricks of blood. Yes, bloody circles left on the sides of junkyard dwellings outside the bloom. In shadows, beware the endless gates, little woman, the people of that community say. It still makes us laugh, such sweetness. Bloody circles left on the sides of junkyard dwellings outside the bloom, in shadows. Okay. So it's out by the bloom. We're gonna have to go into the bloom eventually, aren't we? I can see it coming. Yeah, that's in the junkyard outside the bloom, but not yesterday, not last year, a time ago, and then the circles appeared no more. Perhaps the one who drew them moved on. Or it could be someone. It could be someone the murderer ate. Remembering. It's a possibility. Done about the murders. Anything else I needed? You know what? Tell me about the dungeon river. We don't speak of want. We don't deserve. Yeah, okay, we already had that. Okay, farewell. Hey, what about you? The towering figure appears to be staring into a pocket of shadow in the corner of the chapel. It does not acknowledge your arrival in any way. And Peter says I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly. Good. It rumbled. The devourer of wrongs rumbles at once as though it had been waiting for the news. I would have the murderer caught, and caught quickly. It angers me that all of this transpired while I was attending to Riss. Despite the statement, the creature's voice is as placid as a subterranean pond. Oh, as a subterranean pond. I assume you are here because one of the Dendro Whore is suspected of being the murderer. I will tell you what I know. I have known Imbitu through many minds. He is subtle, clever, and untrustworthy. He is also no murderer. It casually clenches a gloved fist. That leaves the other three. They are all capable of the crime. Mallet is ambitious and deserves revenge. Kiyatawa creaks, plots, and keeps secrets. Gizeh is not human and does not define murder as we do. The creature's fist falls to its side once more. Talk to them, search for holes in their stories. These will lead you to the truth. Thus far, they still have plausible deniability, I think. To an extent. I mean, I don't think they have motive, that's the thing. But we'll see. Yeah, the other side of Kiyatawa might, maybe. Because we don't know. Which do you think is responsible? Mallet, Kazeo, or Kiyatawa could be... No, that's it. Okay. Question them and look for falsehoods. Yeah, okay, we're good. We already asked about executions. So, just want to circle back and ask Mallet one thing, because that's probably been opened up. More questions about the murders. No, that's it. Okay. Alright. Not sure. I mean, there might not be anything else in this tree either. Oh, really? I think I know who the murderer is. I don't. Although, maybe. Melmoth Leviarm. This is a lovely name. Just lovely. Alright. Alright. We're gonna head up top. Because there's one more Dendro or her up there. I know there is.
All right.
Alright.
I'm going.
The red tide represents passion, emotion, action, and zeal. It is the tide of people whose goal is to live in the moment, to experience life to its fullest, or to follow their heart wherever it leads them. Alright. Can we remember where up top we wanted to go? That is the question. Was it Cliff's Edge? Is that where that other Dendrover is? I think it is. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. Okay.
I'm ready.
It's been a pleasant enough distraction. Okay. The blue tide represents wisdom, enlightenment, and mysticism. It's the tide of people whose goal is to expand the mind and the spirit. There you are. Nope, nothing much. Okay, voices climb like weeds. Nope, can't question them then. That's the wreck of that ship. Okay, where to now?
Alright.
Is it alright? Is it really? I mean, that's about all I'm getting right now. It'd be nice to be able to get over here. We gotta figure something out about that first. There's a lot to figure out first. Okay. Let's try something else.
I'm going.
The gold tide represents charity, sacrifice, and empathy. Is the tide of people whose primary goal is to help others, especially at a cost to themselves. Alright. I think we're gonna go for it. You would save the game first. For trouble. They don't give you as many letters as you want. It's unfortunate.
Yes.
Armor reduces damage from physical sources like weapons. Resistance reduces damages from energy, chemical, transdimensional, and mental other things that I don't have time to read.
Alright.
Oh, remember all those eons ago when we were back here.
I'm ready.
Rubble. Oh, hey, more stuff. Okay, this could be terribly dangerous. I'm not entirely sure what's about to happen.
All right.
The metal door is thick, heavy, and unmarked by time. Double rows of circular bumps run horizontally and vertically across its surface. As you approach the door, one of the bumps suddenly slides open, revealing a circular aperture. A few tiny waving strands of synth emerge from the hole. Hold the metallic eye near the open surface. The waving strands whip out, wrapping themselves around the eye. For a moment, the eye comes to life, buzzing and whispering, getting warmer in your hand. The synth fibers make soft, fluttery sounds in return. After a moment, they withdraw. The door slides open, and you step into the chamber beyond. Fettles are status effects or conditions. They may be positive, negative, or status changes indicated by I don't know what's going on anymore. Things. People. Dead body. Oh dear. Koro. The corpses of Murdens, hunched bird-like abhumans, litter the floor. Their wounds are fresh, left by blade and beam. The air smells of rust and blood. He murdered these people, and I convinced them to give him a chance. Koro awaits you on the other end of the room with a hireling. He's clutching his bandaged side with a shaking hand. Even now, he manages a cocky grin. "Took you long enough," he says. "We made a slight miscalculation in assuming the Murdens here were the architects of Salameri's troubles." He coughs and continues. "After we punished them for trespassing, we descended to the next level to look for stragglers, but instead we found what drove the Murdens up here. Heavily armed and hostile drones." His hand tightens on his side. "As you can see, we've had a rough time of it. We left two dead down there." His face is solemn. "I should have been more careful." I was hoping you'd get yourself killed when you volunteered. You deserved what you got. I'm not interested in blame. Tell me about these drones. Dominant tides changed. Legacy has shifted. Got my blue tide back. Not much to tell. Floating orbs, deadly beams, damnably fast, too. Now, if you still intend on reclaiming this place for Salameri, the drones are still down there. I believe they're infecting the systems with their minds, and they will defend their territory without mercy, believe me. He turns his attention back to his wounds. Good luck. Here we go. Alright, well, let's look around up here first before we proceed down anywhere. Is there like a whole freaking dungeon under here that I have to worry about? Is that what we're dealing with here? This Murden has been dead for at least a day or two. The lower portion of its body is missing, and its midsection has been torn open to get at the viscera inside. Burn marks speckle the creature's foul, leathery robes. Lifting these carefully aside, you see the unhealed wounds beneath. The Murden was probably killed by beam weapons, and none of the other Murdens were carrying any. This does not account for the other damage to the corpse. Flesh was torn from the creature in long strips, and since the Murden was trapped in this antechamber with its fellows, you can guess what happened next. Alright. Only confirm your earlier findings. The Murden was killed by beam weapons, eaten by its comrades.
Yes.
Do some looting.
All right.
Gravity bomb. Is that a cipher?
Ciphers are killing me.
Yay! Let's do something about that. Yep, too many ciphers. Oh, you can hold more ciphers now. That's good. Guess what? Guess what? You're the mule now. You are the cipher mule. Yeah. We'll make sure we're done looting before we do anything else. Metal panels and parts have been torn from the wall as if someone was trying to rip their way out, to no avail. And that's probably the way down, I'm guessing. Ah, more loot. Anything else? Coughs. And how Coral got out of there alive. I was way ahead of him. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Let's see how we can make this work.
Forward. Onward.
Oh, we got more information there. That's good. Return to Folsom. I questioned all the cultists that entered her chapel. I can return to Folsom any time and tell them who I think committed the murders. Really? I gotta guess? There's so much here. Because she doesn't know who the killer is, but she's seen this kind of murder before. Suggests the killer was sending a warning or holding a grudge. Kito admitted to finding a corpse in the city. She didn't want to share it with the other Dendra, so she ate it alone. Then she suggested I ask Mallet how many corpses he's found in his own, implied he might have killed some of them himself. Kitawa seemed like she was hiding something else about her visit to Circus Minor. I should speak to the merchants there and see if any of them knew what she was doing. Okay. Question Gazay, a cannibal mutant with claws and sharp teeth. She doesn't seem to recognize that a murder took place because no corpse was left behind. However, she cautioned me not to trust Kitawa and Mallet, both of whom have been sneaking around at night and keeping secrets from the other cultists. Okay. I think we can probably ask a lot of people some more questions. Let's see. Anechoic Lazaret, finally we have a thing where we enter the upper antechamber. Source of the servants is probably on the level below. Yep. Did we do this already? I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, that's right. What I was doing, in fact, was checking my, my various stuffs. Next enemy that makes a melee attack. This character gets knocked down. I'm gonna give that to him. There. Alright. Let's go for it. I'm going to position myself in the upper left. And we'll do this.
Let's go.
The crone pillar descends as you approach, exposing a long shaft ringed with snaking cables. Dim light filters up from below. Here goes. Do we have glow globes? That's an excellent question. Monsters. The construct floats up to bar your path. Blood speckles its ridged surface. Halt, Fleshwalker. Peerless. Halt, Fleshwalker, it billows. Quake in the boundless shadow of Peerless, immortal intelligence of a lost age. Cower before me, and you may be spared. What did you call me? Why are you so hostile? I mean, I'm interested to see what happens if we bow to the Fleshwalker. You give the construct a deep, noble bow. Old tide raised a tiny amount, silver tide lowered a moderate amount. Are you serious, kid? Even the construct seems somewhat taken aback by your show of respect, but it recovers quickly. Enough of these pleasantries. Leave, or my drones, and I will smash your bones and burn smoking holes in your fatty innards. You mentioned the other drones. What can you tell me about them? They are my hands, the floating orb says smugly. Extensions of my indestructible will. Reflections of my brilliance. So the drones are copies of you? Not exact copies, Peerless says. Perfection cannot be so easily replicated. But you are essentially correct, Fleshwalker. What are you doing down here? Great work, worthy of an immortal being, it says. And even that is more than you deserve to know. Oh, really? Can you tell me anything else about what you're doing down here? No, the construct snaps. It is beyond your meat-bound understanding. What did you call me? Fleshwalker, it says, shuddering. You are made of decaying meat and hardened calcium. You squish and click when you move. It is disgusting. This is all I have left, is to fight. Alright. We have successfully avoided combat, aside from that opening sequence that I did however long ago that was. Months, I think. But now we must fight. How about I smash you into spare parts instead? Here we go. I reject your repulsive counteroffer. Okay. Improved initiative. Everyone has improved initiative. Good to know. Crisis initiated. Okay, destroy or deactivate the Peerless drones. -3 control terminals remaining. There are control terminals? Right. So, that would be one. We gotta strategize here. I really don't want Rin getting hurt, obviously. There needs to be a path to... So yeah, I'm actually gonna send Rin around looking. And hopefully she will not get too close to anything. If so, she will retreat. Tiber, I think, might be fast enough to send after the after these things, but I mean, if I send him down there, I'm going to put him right in the middle of both of these folks. I don't want him attacking. I think that's going to be primarily Allergarn and myself, although this is going to get seriously messed up for a number of reasons. What have we got? He's got Hook. He's got Faint. He's got Star's Kiss. She hasn't turned on yet. He's got Hide. Does consume his action. Yes. Alright. Sucker Punch. Issue Challenge. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have him head for this terminal through these enemies, but we're going to come forward and engage. And I'm going to activate this in case anything tries to attack him in the meantime. That seems to be the currently the most sensible thing. Well, sensible, he's going between all these guys. He's going to be very exposed. Alright. A matte black panel on the wall can be used to open and close this door. Oh, that's a door. That's not a control terminal. Alright. New plan. I know there's one around the corner here. I know, strategy. Strategy. So much strategy. So many strategies, so little time. Alright. In that case... we're gonna do a feint against this one. Yeah, let's not break ourselves up too much. You know, using a flex skill might be helpful here. But, yeah, in the meantime, yeah, let's go ahead and feint at this closest one. '80's not bad. We're gonna stick with that.
Keep your head down. We'll be out of this soon enough.
All right. Oh, I see. He was supposed to be there. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, did we do our action? End turn. There we go. Last Casatoff's turn. Alright. How many wonderful things do we have here? Onslaught looks fun. Adaptation. Counterattack. Yes. Resistance from allies in immediate area. Let's do that. Cancel. Let me get closer. Where is everyone? See, this is one of those weird things, right?
Go.
I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Okay. Rin. Yeah. It's going to consume movement if she hides right there. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Yeah, we got to send her somewhere where she can figure this out. Let's go ahead and just try hiding right now. Don't want to spend anything. Alright. So for Allegaron, you have a lot of things here. Shall we summon this husk? We have a lot of things we can use right now. Okay. Let's go with... Innervate. There's all negative. Adaptation. Oh, I see. Resistance bonuses. I like to use similar actions multiple turns in a row to chain increasing effects. No action required, focus ability. Okay. I mean, he's not really... he's good at strength, so I think we're going to go with that, and we'll see what happens here. %, yes.
Next time.
Great. Oh, great. That's a wonderful strategy. It's just gonna attack the one of us that isn't shielded. That's awesome. Okay. Well, knowing that now. Oh, we don't have a lot of support for a sucker punch. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, can we go anywhere? No. Can try to hide. Oh yeah, it fainted at. He fainted at them at first. That's part of the problem. All right. Let's see. We're gonna use. I mean, we have so many things. We're gonna go with Onslaught, I think. Chemical, transdimensional, mental. I would say that either chemical or energy. I mean, we're gonna go with energy. Let's start with energy.
That's strange. I missed.
Unless we, like, crank these up to 100%, I don't think we're going to hit any of these. That's not good.
You're sure it's safe?
Well, it's called moving you elsewhere. And currently hiding, I think. So that's helpful. It's not, but, you know. Excellent. That gives us a lot more we can see here. Doors. That's a control terminal, probably. Telltale Crimson Energy, the Peerless infection swirls around this control column. Yeah. Alright, so now we can better strategize. Hopefully. There's another control terminal. So there are like 3 of them, yeah? There's the 3rd. Okay. It's going to be a heck of a thing. Alright. Hopefully, I'm hoping she's not attacked, because that would be bad. Allegern, what you got for us? Grants, living tattoos, while active use similar actions. I see, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure how any of this works. But, active 5 rounds. We gotta get this thing. No, we don't want to use that. Don't want to use that. Yeah, these are all big detonation things. We should have used it at first. Alright. And it's just attack, I guess. Just use everything.
Who's next? Who's next?
Alright, Tiber. Attack that deals weapon damage +3. Yeah, sure. We don't have a lot of speed, but we'll give it a try.
hard feelings.
Trust and honesty are our bond.
That's not helpful at all. Okay. No, no, we did this completely wrong. Great. We're around a wall. We have no line of sight. This is the worst possible thing that we could do. Okay, we're gonna get over here.
That's best.
Yes, I do. Oh, that's a big one. Okay.
I'm barely hurting it.
Hmm. See, how's it doing? Still got 23, eh? Try a gravity bomb on it. Oh, no, wait. Try the thermodynamic detonation. Seriously? Wow. Nope, that's all I got. Yeah, this was really not the way to go with this. Gotta get Rin out of there. Okay. What have we got? Yeah, Tiber's fighting 2. This is not great. He's got things that pull him closer. Let's have you back up, get in front of Rin. And activate that again.
Never felt better than I do right now.
Rin, I want you to retreat. Yeah. Oh, that's everyone, is it? It's interesting how that works. Okay. I mean, so it's like everyone or no one. Yeah, there's got to be a better way of tackling all that. I haven't figured out what it is yet. But we can't have a glaive, so that didn't do well. I mean, we used we lost a couple of ciphers on that, and it's like nothing happened. Nothing affected it. Those things, I think, might be. I can see a way through, but I think those things are there. Right now, there are too many of those things. I think they're going to overwhelm us.
Fine.
So I think that we may need to come back to that, because that's crazy difficult. Those things down in the chamber might be easier to fight. That was just crazy. Okay. Well, we have other things we can do. We can get on the... Get this out. The ancient structure has become infested with mechanical drones, each of which refers to itself as Peerless. It won't be safe for Salamari to work here until the hostile drones are destroyed. Peerless is purged from the internal systems of the Lazaret, and I've dealt with the source of the infestation. Yeah, and that's going to take a while. It occurs to me. I mean... merchants. Need to talk to the merchants, I think. Hi, something else about her visit to Circus Minor. Should speak to the merchants there and see if any of them saw what she was doing. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Because that was painful.
Of course.
I think we need more experience before we go in there. All right. Back this way. That's good of you. I don't think I was given any additional... Have you seen any Dendroher in the market lately? Don't think so. They don't come prowling around here much. He thinks for a moment. You might try down by the grassy stair. They get a little more traffic than we do. Thank you. No, that's enough. Doesn't do anything. All right. Yeah. Talk to Krata. Have you seen a Dendroher woman in the market lately? She says, her mandibles click. No, near the market, yes, No, near the market, yes. I was closing up shop and only noticed her because she was staggering a little and talking to herself. Do you remember what the Dendroher woman you saw was saying? Something about circles, Prata says, clicking her mandibles. Click, click. That's it, she says. She kept talking about a hollow circle, a red hollow circle. She giggles. I don't know that Dendroher got drunk. I didn't know that. Yeah. Right. But need to identify which one she was. I mean, well, hell, I know where the evidence is pointing. Pre-orders are available. Nice to know. You're still at an impasse? Impasse is a kind word. I call it stuck. Defeated. Useless. Okay. Spinning our wheels here. Alright. Well, I guess then what we can do is The genocide. I mean, there's a possibility of, like... I know, you see, I have this strange thought of releasing this thing out to that, because apparently it shows up down on the reef. Just letting it in and, letting it go and Cuisinart the robots down there. Or vice versa. Don't know. Ah. Try that.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
Drifting Sagestown person. That's a heck of a thing. Alright. Let's just see if he has anything useful to say. Hello again, Captain. Still in good company. I see. Anything I can do for you? Unless my friend has more questions for you, says Tiber. Ask away, friend of Captain Tiber's. Can ask as many questions as they like. Again. Nope, nothing new. Good eye, sit. Alright. Mutant. I mean, I suspect. I have a deep suspicion as to who it is. Kind of need to figure some more things out first. What am I doing back down here? I was doing something back down here. I have forgotten why I came back down here. I thought perhaps it might be important. I can't remember why. I have questions.
Yes. Now.
Sure, a Minotaur yelling from the Order of Truth says hello. I was hoping that they'd seen Mallet. Well, you told him you should visit here more often, the construct pauses, even if he doesn't like the smell. Foreman's worker chuckles. I sense an in-joke, Tiber murmurs, smirking. Let's pass along the readings and see where it takes us. Okay. Have you seen any Dendrohera in the manufactory lately? Yes, there we go. What does that have to do with anything? The construct roars. Am I supposed to take stock of every human that stumbles aimlessly across my floor? It pauses, its two bright eyes scanning the ceiling. Ah, yes, I did see one, as a matter of fact. A large male was lounging under one of the pipes, drinking and slobbering on himself. Then, it continues in tones of disgust, he slept right through all that shrieking about a murder. Barely even woke up to vomit on himself. Under a pipe in my manufactory, blubbering and vomiting. Okay. Blubbering and vomiting. Looking for a pipe. Under a pipe, right? So, ancient ship embedded in the rock. I mean, it's one of these, right? Nope, no evidence. Okay. I was hoping that there would be evidence somewhere. Or perhaps who he had vomited up. So, he did eat someone. He was sad. I have no idea who did it. I mean, you saw somebody. You did something. You just don't have specifics. Alright. Let's check the journal again just in case. Anything? No, of course not. Frustration. Prada, a merchant and circus miner, told me she saw Kiyatawa staggering around the area, muttering about hollow red circles. This sounds very similar to the symbols the murderer has been leaving on walls in the underbelly. The master foreman saw a large male dendric cultist in the manufactory around the time of the first murder. The cultist was getting drunk under one of the pipes. This would seem to support the alibi that Malik gave me. Okay, I gotcha. So it's Kiyatawa. But the problem is, we know that Kiyatawa is tied to other things. We are going to have to go down. We're going to have to go and get killed again to figure this out. So let's do that, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna need to head down to the thing, to the place. The place that is the thing. But then there are also more things that we need to do. More things. Let's talk to the outcast, see Outcasticus, see how they're holding up. Anything has changed or improved? Nope, just gonna leave them alone. Okay, it's all the same information. You see the word again a lot.
Yes.
There is much going on. Okay. Oh, there was actually enough room to spell all that out. Okay. Not that that's exactly what we're doing, but it's close. Human want travel? You bring me to the ledge in Cliff's Edge. That's a good place. Didn't realize they could bring us there. Cave of Last Words. Changing God's Sanctuary. There's so many places I want to go. I'm gonna go to the Changing God's Sanctuary. Please do not touch anything we go. Yes. Yeah, I should bring... I think down there is where I need to bring Castellage. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, there are areas we have not fully explored. I think they would be able to help us with.
I'm going.
Is that the machine with the one that we thought? Was it this one?
Fine.
Yeah. Alright.
Let's go.
Alright. This is gonna hurt. So many things I need to do before we actually do this. Travel circus is minus goes around. You hear yourself. Look at the large central mirror. Study the lenses and mirrors again. Or to respond to the lightest from the smaller mirrors, constraining creaking to study you. Alright. Here we go. The familiar, thoroughly unpleasant noose slips around your neck and chokes the life from you. Choking, you collapse, roll onto your back, and die.
I'm hurt.
Very hurt. Alright, just a quick trip. No, you're not useful to me right now, Spectre. Let's have a little chat first with this individual. I'll be back for you, Woman-shaped hole in the air waits, hands outstretched. Place the box in the outline
I'll
spawn.
remember that.
Oh, yes? You gently place the cube in the shadowy figure's hands. They close over it, and a young woman, the one you found dead in the ruins of the house, plunges toward you out of the darkness, filling the outline until the outline is her. She nearly stumbles into you before she stops herself, blinking hard. Ouch, she says. You notice that the box you gave her is now as ghostly as she is. Lost that item. All right. Well done, the Spectre says, turning away from the stunned woman. I'll give you two some room to talk. You turn to the young woman again. She glances at the darkness above you, and something about the expression reminds you of someone. Of course, the ghostly woman in the fifth eye. They're everywhere. You look familiar. What is your name? Syria, she says. You remember me. You found me beneath the chunks of my adopted father's house with my guts smashed to paste. Who was your adopted father? Orseolo. He was one of you, she says carelessly. A cast-off, I mean. A frown creases her forehead. Poor old man. He never wanted to be special. He found me, fed me, talked to me when I was, troubled. She sighs. But when the house fell on me, I guess he couldn't stand it. And he went looking for a way to die.
Updated my journal.
She falls silent. But you don't need to be told what happened next. You've seen the statue, after all. It was a grief that drove Orseolo to seek death in the sorrow's arms. Syria watches you, eyes shining with some inner light. Orseolo failed you. I'm sorry that this happened to you. It seems strange that he didn't want to stand out. You were important to him. Do you know why? So many things we could ask. He thought he could help me, she says simply. He tried to call me when that woman's voice in my head said I was her and not me. She smiles sadly. I wasn't the first. He'd helped other girls like me before. Really? But I think he knew it couldn't last, she said, her smile fading. He was afraid, but not for himself. He knew I was going to die. One time he said he'd seen me die too many times, then shut himself up. It's all his fault. She claps a hand to her mouth, lowers it like that. She shut himself up like that. She shrugs. But he wasn't wrong, was he? Even if he was a little crazy to begin with. You seem awfully at peace about this. Do you miss living? No, he wasn't wrong, but you're here now. She nods moodily. Sort of, she says. I'm not really me, though. I'm a reflection of what my father saw of me, the only piece of his mind that's left. Which makes sense. He's cast off. When he died, his part of the labyrinth, well, I want to say it broke, but it was worse than that. The cracks burst up through the ground, and everything started crumbling. I could feel parts of him slipping away, snapping off. Yeah. She shudders. I'm glad you brought me here. I would have fallen apart eventually. And then there'd be nothing of him left. Nothing of either of us. Who are you again? No. creature named the Sorrow killed Orseolo. Do you have any idea how it found him? No, she says, staring at the air, thinking. He didn't abuse his power like some of you. Some of you do. Like some of you do. Didn't pull against the tides or use them as weapons. He never wanted to be noticed, to be found. She breathes in and breathes out. Didn't matter, did it? Nope. What are you again? Do you know anything else about Orseolo? I should, shouldn't I? She says, chuckling. I was part of his mind, after all. She passes a hand over her forehead absently, leaving her ghostly eyebrows completely disheveled. But no, if I focus, I can see the other women he took care of, the ones that looked like me, I mean. But it's like looking through dirty glass. I think that means he didn't want to think about them, or couldn't. She shrugs, looking away. I don't know why he spent all that time caring for us. I guess I'll never know for sure now, but... Alright, one time I asked him what his tattoo meant. Atonement, he said. But not, dramatically. He said it was like he was saying his name, like... She pauses, rubbing her forehead again. Like it was everything he was. Like, if he couldn't atone for, whatever it was, there was no reason to exist anymore. She sighs. But I don't know why he started, and I'll never get a chance to ask him. Grinning again, she rolls her eyes. And that's it. That's all I know about the man who raised me for years. Kids, huh? Yeah. What does that puzzle box mean to you? My father gave it to me, she says, beaming down at the ghostly version of the box in her hands. He said it was a very old puzzle and that solving it would help me. She chuckles. I never did, but fumbling with it made me feel better. I always had the feeling that the pictures on it might mean something, but that was as far as I got. Okay, we're done. I'll be here, in your head. Great, thank you. And she is. You abruptly feel her presence inside your mind as if she's always been there. A new weight behind her temples. Ah! Something has happened on an instinctual level. You've established a bond with this reflection. Some of her gifts are yours, and you feel stronger for it. Okay? However, this link fully occupies a corner of your mind. You may be able to forge connections with more than one reflection in the labyrinth, but not many. Oh, great. More choices. You bastards! Last Casatoff gained a new ability. Seria's Peace. Okay. Hey, what up? Hey, no time to talk right now. I am going to loot this area next to you, though, that doesn't seem to have anything in it. Shimmering glass. Okay. I'll have that. The calm discussions. And before we finish this out, we're going to go back up here.
Ready?
Because we've got info on that third version. And that little chat. Okay.
Yes.
Kiyatawa. Now that we know who that is. A translucent man appears. He is unfamiliar to you, but he seems to be working on the machine. The ghostly woman watches him, her brow furrowed. I know him. The engine, it's... Who is he? What is he doing? Is that machine the source of all this? What is he doing? He's trying to save me. I think he's my father. She tilts her head. The memories of this place must be fuzzy. He doesn't look right, but he feels right. I'm certain it's him. She reaches out for the translucent figure, but her hand goes right through him. She calls out, Father! Father! The man continues to work as though she wasn't there. The ghostly woman says, I'm invisible to him. You! She places a solid hand on your shoulder, her eyes suddenly lit. He used that machine, that probability engine, to recreate me and other women. This machine is but a memory, but the engine exists in the real world. I know it. She looks at the ghostly man. Speak to him. Find out how to turn it off. Then you can do the same in the real world and end this. Okay. The ghostly woman's father works frantically, turning dials, stripping metal wires, attaching and detaching various pieces within the machine. After each change, he places a hand on the side of the machine, speaks some words and gestures in the air. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. I need to know how to turn the machine off. What? He rolls around, his eyes bright with fury. Turn it off? That would kill her! Kill her, do you understand? I'm so close to bringing her back. It's just a matter of tuning the machine correctly. See, the trouble is, if this is Orseolo, then there's... He's dead already. His face darkens. I won't shut it down. You will not force me. Although he makes no signal or gesture, the Tabat soldiers from the other side of the fathom run to his aid. Somehow, this ghostly construct's anger has summoned them. Oh, great. I said the wrong thing. This is the only way, then so be it. Leave! The platform rumbles with power and pain of his cry. Leave me alone! You will not take what's left of my daughter from me! Something's wrong with the machine, though. It's hurting people. He waves you off. Bah, you're guessing! You don't know the side effects any more than I do. But I do know this will bring her back to me. Now leave, or I will force you to leave. Alright, I won't force you. Very well. You can't force me. What is his... what is his name? Can you tell me his name? He won't tell me how to shut it off without a fight. Maybe if you can find more women, I might be able to remember more, but we don't even know if there are more. She looks at the memory of her father. He's not real. You won't hurt them. If fighting will stop the injustice that engine has caused, then maybe that's what must be done. Great. Any more impressions where I might find these women? I don't know. Maybe you'll found them all, or maybe they... She shakes her head. Talk to him, she points to the ghostly man. Maybe... Make him tell you how to stop it before it's too late. Ah, great. Very well. Talk to my father, make him understand. Just out of curiosity, there was... I was hoping there was an area down here we can open up, but I guess not. Don't have time for this. No, we can't use hyphens. It saddens me. Can I help you? No, he says, but he doesn't appear to be speaking to you. That's not right. Her hair was softer, thinner, her eyes more like caramel. He speaks to the machine again, swipes through the air rapidly, then sticks his hands inside the engine and rearranges several delicate parts. I'd really like to help you. He continues his work, completely oblivious to you. Alright. Tell me how to shut it down. I won't shut it down. You will not force me. Once again, the labyrinth constructs the Tabat run to his aid. We need to do something about those guys. So be it. Stop him. Keep him away from me. The Tabat warriors growl on a register almost too low to hear, and you feel a subconscious urge within you. You begin to summon reflections of your companions. Oh. Sure.
Ready to test this out.
We're facing the wrong way. They're also not good at aiming at us. $55.
This is embarrassing.
Oh, great. Resistance stat works the same as armor, but continues. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I get the tutorial. Come on.
What do you think of this? I'm ready. You want more of that?
The Tabat are rather hearty, it looks like. This may take a while.
Sure.
I'm faltering. I'm hurt.
Oh dear, that's not good.
One at a time, please. There's plenty of timer to go around.
We are so not ready for this. That's all we can do, man.
It's all in the flick of the wrist. Of course. I need help.
Yeah, you do. This isn't gonna help much.
Thank you. Ha! Try this out.
Hmm.
Yes.
I mean, threaten the man. Yeah, this was not a good plan.
Could maybe use some help over here.
Yeah, we're almost down.
Never.
Well, he's gone.
I'm faltering. I'm hurt.
Yep, that's that. Wow. Okay, yeah. Fighting is not they give you resources for fighting here, but it does not seem to do much for us. If you die while dead, what happens? I don't know. Post-rumble death. Yeah, I may end up reloading to before then for next time, because this was so very violent, so very violent. But that said, it is pretty much time for me to Yeah, it's pretty much time for me to get going here. Let me find that. There it is. Okay, well, that was a thing. That was a lot of trying to hit things and failing miserably. I really feel as though there must be other ways to deal with all these things. If combat is as tricky as it is. Granted, I'm not like a master strategist or anything, but at the same time, yeah, there needs to be either, you know, have to get more powerful first, or there are other ways. And I suspect there are. There was like another glowing figure I didn't talk to in there, so that's a possibility. And I mean, same with the same with those freaking drones down there. I mean, that looks like a fairly combat intense situation, so I think that's something that has to happen. But maybe, I don't know, maybe if we release the Nycthermeron, maybe that'll do something. Not sure. In any case, that was a bit harrowing, and I shall have to figure out more things to make this work. In the meantime, though, what do we have going on? So tomorrow morning we have We Happy Few. I'll be playing that again. And tomorrow afternoon we have the next part of the Cold Ruins of Last Life. That is the Dungeon World campaign we've been playing, where we're all undead. We're very close to the end now, I think. We're about to lay siege to Castle Oblivion, and there's probably a lot of death of undead coming up. So we'll have to see how that goes. Sunday morning, I'm going to be taking another stab at the Gold Rush Anniversary Edition. I'll be playing that a bit more, see if I can actually go back a little bit and catch the boat. Hopefully I'll have time before then to do a little bit of catching up, and that's Sunday morning. Sunday morning, did I say? Yeah, so that's Sunday morning. Then Sunday early evening, we are going to have the second of our two Numenera one-shots. This one's being run by Andrew, one of my co-hosts over on the Cyphercast, and he will be running a thing set in the Frozen South in the Ninth World, and so that'll be fun. So we'll be doing that at like 3 in the afternoon Eastern Time, a little bit earlier than we usually do it, so that we can get everything in. So that's it for this weekend. This coming week, we moved the Cyphercast to this coming Wednesday evening, so that's when we're going to be doing that. So look for that then if you're a fan of all this stuff, MCG, Monty Cook Games, Numenera, and such. And then Thursday, we'll have the second part of our Dirty Secrets campaign that we just started yesterday, which is going to be, I think, very interesting, as we're getting more of a handle of what sort of elements to introduce as we're building this noir, this modern noir thing out of sheer thought and tomfoolery. We'll see how it goes. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. And then, of course, that Friday, 1 week from today, we will be back here doing more of this. And hopefully figuring out how the heck to tackle all of these things without getting kilt over and over again. I mean, it looks like there may not be that much of a penalty for dying. I'm not sure, because you just started back up there again, but at the same time, not fun to just go through life getting the crap beaten out of you and then like dying, coming back, dying and coming back. It's not great, so we'll have to see how that goes. So we shall see. We shall see. In the meantime, though, folks, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all of a sudden.